4 News starts now with a breaking news alert.
And that breaking news just into our newsroom. Within the last 5 minutes, we've confirmed someone shot a 17-year-old boy in the head. This is near the DeQuinder Cut.
This is all happening at St. Aubin between East Lafayette and Jefferson. Here's what we know so far. The teen is in critical condition right now. We know that no one else is in custody, or no one is in custody, I should say. And as you can see, this is still a very active situation. Our photojournalist who is there reporting this tells us there are multiple evidence markers and shell casings on the ground. We will stay on the scene to talk with police and witnesses and bring you an update before the end of this broadcast. In more news tonight, a night of family fun at the Livonia Spree Festival turned tragic when a driver hit a family of 3 crossing the street, then took off.
That driver is now in custody, but a local family is living an absolute nightmare after one of their 3-year-old twins was killed. Will Jones spoke with the grandparents tonight who are now dealing with unimaginable loss. Will.
Ty and Kimberly, the Robinson family, is still trying to wrap their minds around what they're going through right now. We were out at this intersection yesterday, and there are even more flowers and stuffed animals here today. And there are makeshift memorials at all 4 corners of this intersection, showing the support that this family is receiving from the community.
This is hard. I don't know how I'm gonna get through. It's just too much right now.
Regina and Michael Robinson's daughter, Tia, along with their 3-year-old twin grandchildren, Khalil and Chloe, were on their way home from the Livonia Spree Sunday night when tragedy struck.
Real hurt that she went to the fair to have fun and ended up like this.
As they crossed at the Merriman-Linden intersection, the family was hit by a car. Witnesses rushed to help while the driver drove off. Khalil was pronounced dead at the hospital that night.
I'm gonna miss him, and I don't know how I'm gonna get through life without him.
Chloe's awake and alert, but Tia remains in a medically induced coma. The family has asked doctors at St. Joseph Mercy Health System not to tell Tia about Khalil's passing if she wakes up.
Right now it's very hard. We don't know how we're gonna deal with it, what we're gonna do to, to comfort her in any way, shape, or form, because we're still trying to figure out how to comfort ourselves in the tragedy that we're going through.
The Robinsons remember Khalil as outgoing, but never too busy to keep watch over his twin sister.
He always protecting Chloe, as she does the same for him. They protect each other. You say, come on, Chloe. No, where's my brother? I have to get my brother. Where's my brother? She always wanted her brother by her side, as he would with her by his side.
We want to pass along tonight, the Livonia First Responder Foundation is raising funds for the family to help with funeral and medical expenses. We also want to pass along the 48-year-old driver, I should say 47-year-old driver, has not been charged yet, but she is in custody. We are live in Livonia. Will Jones, Local 4.
All right, Will, thank you. New details tonight on yesterday's industrial fire on Detroit's east side. The EPA and state environmental officials are now monitoring the site. No employees were hurt in the fire at Avitas Specialty Services. We are told, though, the company has sealed all sewer lines and is removing leaked oils. One firefighter suffered a back injury fighting these flames, but he's expected to recover. The Detroit Fire Marshal's office is investigating the cause, and we'll keep you posted as we learn more. Happening right now, dozens of residents are gathering on Detroit's east side, demanding action against what they call a neighborhood health hazard.
This protest is happening at McNichols and Moran, where neighbors say they've had enough of the dust and noise from the Kronos concrete facility. Victor Williams joins us live. Victor, dozens of people have signed a petition to try to shut that place down.
That's right. A whole lot of people have signed this petition, and I can tell you right now, from my standpoint of view, the dust is just so bad out here. Every single time one of these trucks pulls out, you can see just this big plume of dust right there behind it. And these people here, if they could have their way, they would get rid of it. They would totally get rid of this. Now, you can see from all their signs right here, they don't want this here. They're saying that it's nothing but poison dust in the air. They're talking about some issues that they have been having. They've had it with the dust, the heavy traffic, and then the noise coming from the trucks all throughout the day. One man who lives by has even had some health complications of his own.
The dust I was in the hospital last week because of the dust, my breathing. My 2-month-old baby has a wheeze. My 5-year-old has a chronic cough. My partner has a chronic cough. This all started when this stuff happened.
Now keep in mind that Kronos Concrete is a legal operation. This is the area that it's actually zoned for. It's an industrial area as well on top of that. But in the meantime, inspectors, they've been here at least 3 times a week. They said that there have not been any type of violations. If there were any, they corrected them. But they're hoping that they can find some type of common ground with the city, of course, to get this together. I mean, these people, they say that they shouldn't have to live like this at all. So we'll be talking to more of them. We'll have more later on tonight. In the meantime, we are right here on the east side. Victor Williams, Local 4.
Okay, Victor, we appreciate your report this evening.
This is new at 6. Detroit police say a single punch turns deadly at a Detroit gas station. Here's what happened. Investigators say 26-year-old Javante Barber hit Samuel Spruill Jr. in the face during an argument. It happened Friday afternoon on East McNichols near Hoover on the city's east side. Police say the 44-year-old man fell and hit his head on the ground. He died at the hospital. Police arrested Barber shortly after. He now faces manslaughter charges and remains under house arrest on a $100,000 bond.
The victim in last March hospital shooting in Troy came face to face with his alleged attacker in court today. Robert Peljusevic learned he will stand trial for the March shooting at Corewell Health Troy Hospital that triggered an active shooter alert. As Pamela Osborne shows us, the victim testified about the moments before Peljusevic allegedly fired 5 shots.
As time went on, I viewed this man as a brother. I viewed him as close as a friend of anybody that maybe you grew up with.
But things changed when Tyler Matoine's father died in December. Then friend Robert Peljusevic wasn't invited to the funeral, something he seemed to take personal.
On that call, I vocalized that I no longer wanted to continue this friendship. I didn't want to view each other as brothers.
Matoine described how the once supportive relationship turned toxic. He testified Peljusevic began speaking aggressively about him and his family.
The reaction was, "Oh, you're a little, you're a coward, you're this," and all these obscenities.
The two continued to work the graveyard shift together at Corewell Health. Things came to a head in February after Matoine agreed to meet Peljusevic at a coffee shop. He detailed the disturbing FaceTime call he answered on his way home.
He said, "Hey, look at the, can you see my screen?" And I looked at the phone, and it was my father's prayer card, which on one side has a picture of Jesus, on the other side has a prayer, and Robert was urinating on it. And he was urinating on it, and then he threw it in the toilet, and then I saw it flush.
That was the final straw for Matoine, and on March 20th, after clocking out of his shift, he noticed a car parked right next to his. It was Peljusevic.
I'm in the driver's side of my car. The door is still open. As soon as he approaches the hood of my car and is kind of coming around the hood, I see the weapon.
He says Peljusevic started firing, shooting him in the arm and shoulder, and when he was done shooting through his windshield,
he comes around the driver's side of the car where my door is still open, and a few more shots are discharged, and then I heard like a...
When Peljusevic walked off, he ran into the hospital where he alerted his colleagues to the shooter, identifying the gunman via text to his mom. He was concerned for her safety, too.
I immediately asked the present security or officers that if they could just make sure my mom was okay.
Peljusevic defense attorney asking the judge to reduce his $500,000 cash bond in half. She did not agree.
The concern that I have about public safety is not less than, but probably greater than.
In Troy, Pamela Osborne, Local 4.
After an all-night session, Senate Republicans passed President Trump's controversial tax and spending bill by just 1 vote. The big, beautiful bill extends President Trump's 2017 tax cuts while slashing Medicaid and food stamp programs to boost military and border spending. The Congressional Budget Office warns it could add $3 trillion to the national debt and leave 12 million Americans without health coverage. The House plans to vote on the measure tomorrow as the president pushes for a July 4th sign. Now, meantime, Michigan lawmakers from both sides of the aisle are reacting to the decision on social social media. This is Republican Congresswoman Lisa McClain tweeting out, quote, House Republicans are ready to send the one big beautiful bill to the president's desk. A no vote breaks the promise made to the American people. The time is now. Failure is not an option. End of that quote. Meantime, Democratic Senator Alyssa Slotkin tweeted out this, quote, today's massive bill will go through only a tiebreaker. Senate Democrats importantly delayed the process enough to allow the world to see this bill and to lay bare the fighting and divisions on the other side, end quote.
More than 300 people are charged in the largest health care fraud bust in Department of Justice history. The investigation, known as Operation Gold Rush, uncovered nearly $15 billion in false claims and seized more than $245 million in cash, luxury vehicles, cryptocurrency, and other assets. State and federal prosecutors have charged more than 320 people in this bust, including suspects based in Russia, Eastern Europe, Pakistan, and other countries. Nearly 100 licensed medical professionals were also charged, including 25 doctors.
Unfortunately, we have a new scam alert to tell you about tonight from Attorney General Dana Nessel, as criminals are posing as the state's consumer protection team. Nessel says the scammers are using sophisticated technology to make it appear they're calling from her office, even displaying the real phone number. These imposters tell victims their credit cards and bank accounts will be shut down unless they make an immediate payment. Nessel emphasizes her office will never call to demand money or negotiate credit card debt over the phone. If you've been targeted by this scam, you can report it to the real consumer protection team. That number is 517-335-7599.
All right, let's get you caught up on your forecast. It is a beautiful Tuesday afternoon. We saw some live pictures outside in our earlier newscast. It was just white, puffy clouds.
Beautiful clouds, a lot of sunshine, great temperatures. We've really earned it, though, haven't we, Brian?
Brett, by the way, that's only happened this once, I promise you, folks. It's been nice. He's going to mow my lawn later. It's totally fine. So we will talk about the 4th of July forecast here in just a moment, but let's enjoy these temperatures. How about this? Low to mid 80s, couple of upper 70s. It's also much less muggy out there, so it feels better. Don't get me wrong, these are, warm temperatures. It could be a little bit cooler, but given the lower humidity, it feels really nice across southeastern Michigan. For the rest of this evening, numbers fall under mainly clear skies, eventually into the 70s and some 60s overnight tonight. Let's talk about the all-important fireworks forecast. We'll put some fireworks here in the studio. The next few days, we're going to see temperatures going up, and that includes the humidity as well. Temperatures themselves are going to be in the low to mid 90s this weekend, but when you factor in the humidity, it's going to feel more like the upper 90s. I'm not going to rule out a heat index in triple digits, especially on Saturday. Now, Friday is the 4th. Just a few clouds are expected, but come Sunday, still looks like that's our best chance for showers and maybe a few thunderstorms. We'll time all that out, and I'm going to put gas in the mower for Ty coming up in just a bit.